Then we're going to talk about the most underrated top QB draft prospect of NFL history. Let's get it.
Coming now. Bang.
Yeah. Ay.
Yeah.
Way.
Yeah.
No need to chit chat. No need to, you know what I'm saying, get to the extras. You're going to let Von talk on this one. Shedeur Sanders is the most underrated top QB draft prospect in NFL history. It's just plain and simple. If you look at his stats, if you look at his accomplishments, even if you look at individual accomplishments, even look at the teams he's been on before he got to the NFL draft, before he even got in the NFL draft, if you look at them teams, if you would just take his name away, right? You don't know his name is Shedeur Sanders. He could be anybody. Create a player. You put those stats, you put those intangibles in one player, I guarantee he's going number one, or at least be the top quarterback in the draft. You give those stats to any quarterback, he's number one. But since he's Deion Sanders' kid, you know what I'm saying? Since he's Deion Sanders' kid, he's a black quarterback, hey, there's going to be doubts. Can he do it? Can he live up to the hype? But all he's been doing is living up to the hype, from Little League football, from high school football, from JSU to CU, living up to the hype. But yet we still say, can he do it? But this video hopefully gonna prove some people wrong. If not, hey man, stuck in y'all ways. So let's get into the numbers, since y'all love numbers so much, right? So we finna get into these numbers. So, as we get into these numbers, we're not only going to show Colorado numbers, we're going to show Jackson State numbers, because those are still college football numbers. He still was in college football. Those still counts as 2 years he's played. He's a senior, played 4 years of football. He played 4 years of football. So that means the Jackson State means something. So we finna pull up them stats right now. So in 2021, his freshman year in Jackson State, right, his completion percentage is 65.9 for a freshman. I mean, that's a lot of people. That's a senior, junior, sophomore in the 65.9. So as a freshman coming in, college football, I don't care what level of football you played on, that's impressive. As a freshman, 3,231 yards, 30 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. A true freshman. You telling me you putting up that numbers as a true freshman? Okay. Look, we ain't going to stay there. Let's go. Year 2. Did he get better? Year 2, he jumped from 65.9 to 70.6. Almost a 5.5. It's a 5 increase. From a freshman to a sophomore. Got better. 3,732 yards. Come on now. 500 yards better at passing, man. 40 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. So not only did the touchdowns go up, the interceptions went down. So bam, improved every stat-wise from sophomore to junior year. Still different competition. You got to understand, his first year, he wasn't playing with Travis Hunter his freshman year. Malachi Wideman, Shane Hooks. I mean, true ball and people know them, but there ain't people that you gonna see on Sundays yet. You know, hopefully Malachi get right. He was in the USFL. Hopefully he get right. He balls there and makes his way onto a team. Hopefully Shane Hooks gets right. He went to Ole Miss. Should have went to CU, man. Should have followed Prime to CU. Went to Ole Miss, got lost in the shuffle. You know what I mean? Kevin Coleman, another one. His sophomore year. Great kid. Coleman was a great kid. Got lost in the shuffle, man. Went to Louisville, transferred again? I don't know. Hey, lost in the shuffle. But once he got Travis Hunter, come on, it's been history. That was his sophomore year. And also, Travis didn't play his whole sophomore year. Travis was dealing with an injury that he was coming in from a freshman year. But this isn't about Travis and about those receivers. It's about Shedeur and the talent that he exudes and the talent that he helps with others. So, come on. So, 2023, first year in Colorado, 69.3, 3,230 yards, 27 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. First year in Colorado, first year in Power 5. And come on, people say he couldn't do it. He still threw for 69. 69 in Power 5. That's great. And Power 5 football, 69 completion percentage was Power 5. And let's not forget the things that he was dealing with. But right now, we dealing with stats. 69.5, 3,230 yards. 3,230 yards on the team that you did not have no run. Everybody knew he was going to pass the ball. You know what I'm saying? And you also didn't have Travis Hunter for the majority of the year. You didn't have Jimmy for the majority of the year. Again, things we're not talking about right now, but things that add on to the narrative. But we only talking about numbers, so let's stay on the numbers, right? So we got, 27 touchdowns to 3 interceptions. 3 interceptions, Power 5 football. If y'all knew his schedule in 2023, it wasn't no cupcake schedule. He only threw 3 interceptions. Come on, man. Senior year, 74 completion percentage. 74. Come on now. 4,000 yards, 4,134 passing yards. Come on. 37 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. 10 interceptions went up, but the touchdowns went up also. That 74 completion rating, best in college football history? Come on. The stats show that this is an elite quarterback. You take Shedeur Sanders' name off these stats. I read you these stats. His first year, he threw for 3,231. Second year, 3,732. Fourth year, 3,230. Fifth year, 4,134. He doesn't have a year of football where he's thrown under 3,000 yards. He has the stats. So now we take away the stats. Bam, he has the stats. You take away those stats, he's a normal player. Then what? What you got to give? Because the stats right here. The stats are right here. I'm reading the stats. They're right here. So, okay, bam. You say, okay, it's college football. Everybody has good stats in college football if you're elite, right? If you're good enough, everybody has got stats. Okay. So you're going to say everybody has stats. Cool. Yeah, so let's look at the accomplishments. Accomplishments mean something, right? If you're an elite or quarterback, accomplishments means pretty much everything. People look at your stats, they look at your team, they look at your accomplishments. So let's look at the individual awards that he has won as a college football quarterback. But again, I'm not pulling just Colorado. That doesn't just count. We're also going to pull his individual awards with JSU. So in 2021, he has the Jerry Rice Award. In 2022, he has the Deacon Jones Trophy. The All Pac-12 Newcomer of the Year in 2023. First team All Big 12 in 2024. SWAC Championship Game Offensive MVP. Come on, man. But let's talk about 2023, right? You got the Big 12 Player of the Year, Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year, right? Come on, man. Golden Arm Award winner. Top 10 Heisman finalist. Any quarterback with these accomplishments, man, they are guaranteed top quarterback out the draft. But yet, because his name is Sanders, we're giving this man the rough. Because he's an African-American quarterback, we give the run, They got to find a flaw in his game and then make it such more of a bigger deal than what it really is, Cam Ward's facing that too. You know what I'm saying? Jalen Hurts faced it. Lamar faced it. Is this something that's just true? It's a narrative that always get out there. We're always going to see the worst in your game. When you're up there, we're going to see the worst in your game. And not only are you the top quarterback in the draft, right? You're confident about it. And they don't like the confidence. They rather see you humble and be like, yeah, I'm happy to be here. But you're just like, no, I work to be here. You keep a straight face, you're going to be confident about your work because you've been winning most of your life. Yeah, you had one bad season in Colorado, but other than that, you've been winning. You turn teams around, but they don't like that. But again, we're going to get into it. You can see by the accomplishments that he is yet again a top player in a draft. Accomplishment stats with accomplishments, create a player. You drafting this quarterback if you need a quarterback number one. I'm just saying. So let's keep going. Right? Let's keep going. Get how sensational Shedeur was at Jackson State as a freshman and as a sophomore. He was getting Heisman talks as a sophomore at Jackson State on FS1 with Skip and Shannon. Like, that's how serious he was. Stephen A. Smith was talking about him. That's how serious this kid was as a freshman and as a sophomore. And then when we went to Colorado, the only reason he got the attention that all y'all hate that he got is because he produced at such a high level at the HBCU that y'all had to see him. Deion Sanders, y'all had to see him. That was like, oh, his son can't be as good as his son says. And his son proved it every game that he's good as he said, running for his life at Colorado. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to look at the film, right? That's what everybody's saying. The film, right? If you want to look at the film, then if you want, there's two sides of Shedeur that you can look at, right? Let's go his first 2 years in college. His first 2 years in college, you can see Shedeur in a cleaner pocket. You can see Shedeur when he can process the field. You can see Shedeur make tighter throws. You can make Shedeur see deep balls. You can see anticipating throws the way you want it when he's comfortable, right? You want to see somebody when he's comfortable because that's what his line was sufficient enough to be consistent enough, right? His run game was sufficient enough to be consistent enough to where Shedeur can be comfortable and you can see everything you want to see. If you want to see a quarterback when they're comfortable, if that's what you want to see, because the truth is, quarterbacks shouldn't be comfortable, right? You shouldn't be okay with being comfortable. So when he went to Colorado, he wasn't okay with being comfortable. The line was patchwork his first year. Defense was patchwork his first year. Had some players, great players that stood out. You know, it was Reaver the receiver stood out. You know, some linemen stood out, some didn't. You know, still put up great stats. And that's him being out the last game because he broke his back, you know. So, we could say that. And that's with no Travis Hunter. Barely any Jimmy Horn. Senior year comes in, they build up the receiving core. You know what I mean? They get a freshman lineman. They find a little bit more continuity with the line. Defense plays way better, right? Run game, on and off. So if he holds the ball too long, I'm sorry, when he's trying to make something happen because he knows it's on him. He knows he got to get it to these receivers because these receivers are dynamic. Whether the run game is working or not, the receivers are working. Jimmy can break open. LeJontay definitely can break open. Will Shepherd, when he's on and he's catching them passes, come on. Travis, come on. So, sorry, those are NFL receivers. They're going to get them balls. If you haven't seen it now, those are NFL receivers. They're going to get the ball. You know what I'm saying? Most teams have NFL everything, right? Colorado had an NFL quarterback, NFL receivers at that moment. An NFL left tackle that's a freshman at that moment. If you look at everybody else on that line, they're not in the NFL. One's trying to make it, right? The others are still in college. Right? Running backs, all of them are still in college. So excuse Colorado for passing the ball a lot when they had NFL talent at the receiver and quarterback position. And boy, did they all play great. Sure, they came up short at the Alamo Bowl in my city. Hey, Colorado don't have no luck in my city. Sorry. But you can't take the season that Shedeur had, can't take the season Trav had, can't take the season LeJontay had. They had great seasons. Jimmy's proven that he's a top talent when he's healthy. Will Shepherd will prove that. And you're going to see more at the Pro Day. But Shedeur Sanders, you give him talent, he raises to the talent. Now you want to, okay, so I said the comfortable part. Now you want to see a quarterback that's uncomfortable. Now you want to see a quarterback that can make throws without getting hit, make throws on the run, make good reads when he doesn't hold the ball too long because he's trying to make a home run play. When Shador's on, he makes great reads. His throws be layered. His passes be right there. He throws a catchable ball. A lot of people get on him for not throwing zingers. He's thrown zingers. There's a lot of times when Shador's throwing the ball, you can hear the pads pop. Right? But he rather throw a catchable ball because he know I can get yak. If they can catch and run, I can get more yards from their yak. No, there's things about being a quarterback. There's things about being in position. And if you want to see a quarterback, if you're picking in the top of the draft, you know your line might not be the best. Your receivers might not be the best. Your run game might not be the best. This man's had the best. This man's had the worst, and he still executed. So you're getting somebody who's been put in every situation, been having different offensive coordinators, been having different running backs, been having different receivers, rotating people around. The only continuity was really in Colorado and Jackson State his second years. His second years was a little bit more continuity because he had people he played with his first year. But you have somebody who's been around that rotating door, and you have somebody who's been around different personalities. You have somebody that's been around a camera. You have somebody that's dealt with media, and you're telling me that you have somebody who's dealt with pressure on the field, pressure in life, and you're telling me pressure doesn't make diamonds. You're crazy. You're telling me he's not a top pick. You're crazy, man. Like, y'all can say it's glazing, but it's just the facts. Like, y'all take away the stats. Y'all take away... you don't take away the stats. You give somebody the stats. You give somebody the accomplishment. You give somebody the film. You give somebody the history of turning two programs around, we left Jackson State. Jackson State's winning SWAC championships. He came to Jackson State. They weren't winning SWAC championships. That's plain and simple. Colorado was 1-11 when he came. So he's leaving Colorado, a 9-win team and a Alamo Bowl game play. Bam. And guess what? If history repeats itself, Colorado's going to be pretty good. Right? You will hope. Right? So, if you get somebody the resume if he has, right? The resume. He has a great resume. He has a great resume. He has all the stats. He has all the accomplishments. He has the history. He has the film. You give him everything. Then what? Then what? How is he not the number one pick in the draft? How is it Travis Hunter? If it isn't Travis Hunter, it should be Shedeur Sanders. If you like Cam Ward's a great pick. Cam Ward also is very underrated as well, but they're giving him more praise than they're giving Shedeur. So if you make a creative player and you give him the stats, you give him the accomplishments, you give him the film, you give him the history, right? Give him physical traits. Hell, he's not the fastest, but he still runs touchdowns. He's not slow. He has like Patrick Mahomes speed. Like, he's gonna get there. He gonna get there, and he gonna get there. Right? It's one of those speeds. It's like it looks cool when he running because like, why ain't nobody tackling him? But it's just like it works. That's just plain and simple. I'm not calling him Patrick Mahomes, saying he got Patrick Mahomes speed, the athleticism type. They gonna get there when they get there. And you're going to look at them like how they're outrunning these people because it doesn't look like they're running that fast, but it works for them. So even with the arm is good, I seen him throw 50-yard bombs. I seen him throw touchdowns from 60 yards in games. There's film. Look it up. Arm is there, right? When he has time, and he has time to get his perfect footwork, and he can just sling it, it's there, right? It's there when he doesn't have time. It's there. So what are we doing? What are we doing, man? Put some more respect on this man's name. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hey, man, we're going to talk about some other things. I got Brandon Hood coming up. I think Brandon Hood's very underrated. Brandon Hood, B-Hood. Yes, sir. I think you should be the running back of the future. I think you should be in the tandem with Welch. You know what I'm saying? I am a Colorado fan. We're going to do a lot of Colorado content. I don't know if we're going to do NFL content like that. You know, I'm a Seahawks fan. And I don't know what we doing, to be honest. I know we got a good coach, Kubiak. You know what I'm saying? As an offensive coordinator, we got a lot of free agents. You know what I mean? We got DK that's up in the air. You know what I'm saying? We got to re-sign Jackson Smith and Jigba at some point in time. We got to re-sign Tyler Lockett. You got to keep the glue. You don't detach the glue. You got to keep the glue. Tyler Lockett is important, you know. But I'm rambling. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hey, keep it up. Let Vaunt talk. We going.
Coming now. Bang.
Yeah, ayy,
Hey,
ayy,
yeah.
way.